Good morning from Alexa's Ranch. I am heading to the store. I want to make a fall-inspired charcuterie board, and I want to give you some inspiration, hopefully. So let's see what we can find. So I'm finally back here at the ranch. Let's unpack everything and then we can get started with our board. So I'm starting out with cleaning my apples and my pumpkins. I added them to a bowl of hot water, and so I'm just gonna let them sit there for a few minutes. So I also wanted to share with you as some inspiration how to create a very simple fall colored theme for your table. Just pick a few candles in those colors, and I got some pumpkins and squash. I can use those later for cooking. And here are just some fall colored napkins and one little beautiful flower. And so with very little money and very little effort, I just created a beautiful fall theme. So I'm going to slice my pears now. I'm going to remove the skin, and I'm also going to use these two Bartlett pears, which are a little beat up on the outside already, but they are still good to eat. These are my favorite pears if you've never tried them. They're very juicy and very sweet. And then I'm going to place them here in the bowl, and I'm going to add some lemon juice to them so they don't turn brown while we get everything else prepared. So I wanted to give you an idea. I bought some goat cheese here, and I have some trail mix, and I'm going to break down the trail mix with a sharp knife here into small pieces, and then I'm going to roll my goat cheese in there to give it sort of, you know, a crust of trail mix, and it's going to be really, really good. So let me show you how I do this. So I'm going to place a piece of saran wrap here on a plate, and then I'm going to add my cheese, and then I'm just going to wrap him up, and he's going to go in the refrigerator until we're ready to serve everything. Here's our salami and prosciutto, and my cheeses I'm going to present on a separate little board here. By the way, the name a charcuterie board comes from, here's our goat cheese that we put together. It comes from back in the day, you know, the man who put the meat together, his name was the charcutier. And so, you know, when they had these meat platters and prepared them and smoked them, you know, to make them live longer when we had no refrigeration and everything. So here's our goat cheese. And then I have some Gouda, if I can get it open. And now here we have some blue cheese. And when you assemble these platters, think about the cheeses that have, you know, that are strong in taste. They will go very well with your jellies and your marmalades and your fruits and all the other things that we're going to add onto this platter. You want cheeses that sort of, you know, have character. Hey, Machi. So let me show you what we have here. to me it's such a labor of love, because you have to think about, you know, what the people eat that come over and their preferences, and there's a lot of thought and work that goes into these boards. So we have some cornichons. I have, you know, these little knives where you can cut the cheese off and serve yourself with. And we have an assortment of olives. We have our homemade goat cheese and the cherry spread, Gouda, blue cheese, our apple, some peanut butter. By the way, the peanut butter, I'm going to put a link in the description of how I make my peanut butter, and you can go and make your own. And our olives again, and the fig spread, and then the salami and the prosciutto. And you can serve this with an assortment of crackers, some baguette bread, or some pretzel bread. So yeah, look at this. So I forgot to bring out the pears that we sliced with so much love. And also pretzels and pistachios I had. So I hope I inspired you today to make your own board. Let me know in the comments, and a thumbs up from you would mean a lot. So thank you, and have a good night, and I will see you soon at Alexa's Ranch. Bye-bye. Bye.